It's time for Tech Tuesday. This is a conversation we have every week, in fact, every Tuesday, and we speak about the best tech out there and whether you should put money down to get it. Today, we're focusing on home care, and we're going to specifically focus on vacuum cleaners and Robo vacuum cleaners at that. Joining me to talk about the options available and whether you should spend money on it is Dhananjay Bhosle, who's a social media content creator, a very popular reviewer of tech. Thank you, Dhananjay, for taking the time. You've had experience yourself with some of these products, but I'm going to ask you about the options first. Okay. What would somebody look at if they were to go out into the market and look for Robo vacuum cleaners?
Okay, so when it comes to the market of Robo vacuum cleaners, it starts anywhere from 10,000 rupees and can go as high as, right now, at least in India, you can buy up to 60,000 rupees worth Robo vacuum cleaner, a single Robo vacuum cleaner. That sounds really high. But when it comes to the features, when we will discuss all these features, you will realize that these can be life-changing because for me, at least, Robo vacuum cleaner was life-changing because it reduced a lot of my work and my house looked much cleaner as compared to how it used to look when I used to do it manually.
That's good to hear. The use case is definitely something that we should talk about. And I also am interested in finding out some of the practical difficulties that people would ask about if they say, does it really do the job? But what are the features that you think that people should focus on?
Okay, so usually when we say vacuum cleaners, we think about vacuum cleaners which can just clean the dust. Like it can clean the dust on the floor or of the ceiling. That's it. We do not think about wet mopping as such. So cleaning the floor with water. Now, when it comes to these Robo vacuum cleaners, many of these Robo vacuum cleaners come with a wet mop support, which means they will not only suck the dust out, but it will also clean the tiles perfectly and with water. And that's something which is not present in regular vacuum cleaners, which we use. Let it be corded or cordless. A lot of vacuum cleaners do not have the option of mopping, whereas a lot of Robo vacuum cleaners have the option of mopping the floor as well as cleaning. Cleaning plus mopping will be done at the same time in a lot of these Robo vacuum cleaners.
Those are the features. Why don't you take us through a few products that are available then? You said that this ranges between 10,000 all the way up to 60,000, and I'm guessing yes, there is some reason for that price of 60,000. It won't just be arbitrary. There will be some more features that are offered perhaps on yes, those, or there's more precise calculation of space. What can you tell us about these?
Okay, so when it comes to vacuum cleaner, first thing that we think about is suction power. That's one of the major talking points, and that's something which you should always look at. Let it be a regular vacuum cleaner or a Robo vacuum cleaner. Now, 1500 Pascal is a suction power which I would say you should at least have in the Robo vacuum cleaner if you're planning to buy. Now, all the vacuum cleaners which are priced at about 15,000 rupees have this minimum suction power. But if you go a little bit higher to, let's say, 20,000 rupees, you can get vacuum cleaners with 2,000 Pascal suction power, 2,500. Some out there also have 3,000 Pascal of suction power, which means it will suck out more dust and it will clean the surface more effectively. This is 1500 Pascal, which you should remember, in my opinion, is the minimum that you should have. Then there are also other things such as tracking, detecting objects. So when you leave the vacuum cleaner, as it is going to do everything automatically, it needs to detect objects in your house and needs to be like, okay, I cannot go here because there is an object here. I should go back or I should try to go around that. So these are some of the features. And there is also something called as collision detector. And there are also Robo vacuum cleaners which can remember your house. So if you keep your Robo vacuum cleaner in your bedroom, it can remember that it is placed in bedroom and it will create a virtual map of your house when you run it for the first time, and it will show you this is your room number 1, this is your room number 2, this is your room number 3, or this is your room number 4. And you can also select specific room to clean. Now I have been using a Robo vacuum cleaner. So if I just want to clean my living room, I'll just select living room in the application and it will directly come from my bedroom to living room and it will clean the living room and go back. So these are some advanced features which you keep on getting as you go above when it comes to price tag. So when it comes to a 10,000 rupees vacuum cleaner, you're going to get remote functionality. You're not going to get very good collision detector, or you're not going to get virtual maps or a dedicated app which will work really well. it's basically what you pay, you get that when it comes to Robo vacuum cleaners.
So let's talk about the ones that you have, or the one that you have experience with, because you mentioned that you're quite satisfied with the outcome of using that vacuum cleaner. What do you need to bear in mind though? What can it do? What can it not do? Does it completely replace the requirement for having help? Because I think the advantage of living here in India is the ability to have somebody come to your home and help you out with things that you may not be as able to do.
Yes, that's the major question. Whenever I talk with my friends about Robo vacuum cleaners, they're like, I can have someone do it for me and I can pay them on monthly basis. I'm like, that's true, but the convenience of having Robo vacuum cleaner, and you can clean anytime you want. You eat dinner and the floor is not that good, it's messed up. You can simply click few buttons on your phone and it will be cleaned automatically. So this is one of the major points which I personally feel, because of which Robo vacuum cleaners are worth it. I have one here right now. So this is the one which I use. So as you can see, the size is not small, it is quite big. And when it comes to things which it cannot do very well, is sometimes the edges of the floors is something which is difficult for the vacuum cleaners to clean. So if we have a chair, or if you have sofa, or if you have something in your house which does not have enough space below it for the vacuum cleaner to go inside it, then it will not clean that particular surface. So if there is a chair which has legs which are very close to each other, then the floor besides the floor below the chair will not be clean, which is something which help, or if you are cleaning manually, then you will be able to do that manually just by moving the chair. But the Robo vacuum cleaner cannot really do that as of now, at least.
What about challenges in terms of ledges? Because a lot of rooms, for example, in some houses, there'll be a bit of a ledge before you enter the room, right? So is it able
Yeah.
to navigate even that comfortably?
I would say when it comes to budget ones, like 10 to 15,000 rupees, you can get 1 centimeter. If there is, let's say, carpet of 1 centimeter, then it can climb that. There are some vacuum cleaners which can also climb up to 2 centimeters. But I have not really seen Robo vacuum cleaners which can climb, let's say, 5 centimeters or 6 centimeters as of now. I'm definitely sure that in the future we will get that. But that's something which is not there right now. 2 centimeters, it's something which you should expect from a Robo vacuum cleaner.
The efficacy of the mop, because I've
Yeah.
heard with regard to, the suction power is definitely something, but when you have the traditional ladi and you have the cleanliness that you get after that, is it comparable or is it just so?
Uh, Again, that's a difficult question to answer, because personally I'm very happy because I do not have to do the mopping. That's something which I feel always happy about. So if you ask me, I'm very happy. But if you ask my mom, she's like, this is maybe 7 out of 10. If she does it 10 out of 10, yeah, Robo vacuum cleaner is 7 out of 10. So I would like to share one of my experiences. So one of my friends wanted to buy the vacuum cleaner, Robo vacuum cleaner to be precise. And he was like, his mom is very particular about cleaning the house. The floor needs to be very well cleaned and the edges and everything has to be very clean. So I was like, do not invest 20,000 rupees directly. Take my Robo vacuum cleaner to your place and try it out for 7, 10 days. And then you will get to know how good it is or how bad it is. His mom tried it and she was actually happy with it. She was unhappy with the edge performance, edge cleaning performance, but overall she was happy. So for me, if she is happy, I'm like, okay, theek hai, that does the job then. But one thing which you need to keep in mind is the cloth needs to be cleaned every few days, like 2 to 3 days. After 2 to 3 days, you have to clean the cloth, as well as you have to empty the dust box, because it fills up quite fast.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you about, which is what parts or replacements would you need to bear in mind? Because in vacuum cleaners of old, you need to have that collection packet, right? They
Yeah.
provide you with disposable packets that you could fit into the vacuum cleaner that had to be replaced. Is that something that you need to bear in mind for your Robo vacuum cleaner?
So right now, with all the modern vacuum cleaners, there is a cloth which can be cleaned and used multiple times. So I have been using the same cloth for almost a couple of years now. and it has not given me any issues. You just have to make sure that you clean it every 2 to 3 days, because I feel there's some microfiber technology that these people are using in the cloth itself, so that it will give the best performance even after you wash it. And when it comes to removing dust, it's just a box, so you just empty it and you just put it once again. So there is no replacement parts that you need to buy separately once you buy the Robo vacuum cleaner as such. At least I did not buy anything for 2 years, and it's still cleaning very well.
Very quickly, last question. What's your recommendation?
Okay, so I have been using, as I showed, this is the Xiaomi vacuum mop P. There is also one by Viomi, which is also good. Similar suction power, similar features, but it's a little bit cheaper. There is also one by Realme, which has high suction power of almost 3000 Pascal, which is really good. And if you have like very high budget, then there is iRobot by iRobot Roomba 7, which you can buy, which is almost 47,000 rupees.
Fantastic. I think that covers it. Thank you so much, Dhananjay, for taking the time. Pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.